I feel like a lot of us don't realize that we get in our own way in most situations, and a slight tweak of the way that we think, the way that we approach situations, and how bad we let our ego run our minds can change everything. Because our pride really is the devil. And at the end of the day, I think if we paid more attention to the fact that we let our pride control us in so many situations, and that if it wasn't for our pride and our ego being so fragile, we'd probably be able to have healthier relationships. We'd probably be able to get through situations easier. We'd probably would have better mental health because of the fact that we believe the crazy things that we think sometimes in our minds. And because they're our own thoughts, and because of the fact that we are able to justify a lot of our actions within our own mind, and when you're stuck inside your own mind long enough, you're going to believe what it's telling you. Even if it's not always telling you the right thing, even if those things that it says doesn't always make the most sense. And a lot of time, our pride prevents us from doing the right thing, even when we know we are not doing the right thing. But we can't allow ourselves to let our pride down. We can't let our ego, which is already so fragile, be hurt because then we feel like we're losing. When really, whenever you let your pride get into the way of anything in your life, that's really when you lose. Because at the end of the day, I've seen so many times where people and myself have let their pride be the reason why they made the decision that they decided to make. And because they couldn't look past their pride, because they couldn't find another solution other than being run by their emotions, it ended bad every single time. Because if you really think about it, in real life situations, everyday situations, driving, I would say is the number one situation where we all allow our pride to mess us up and turn us into people that sometimes we don't even recognize because our pride and our ego gets triggered so much throughout driving for whatever reason. I mean, the road rage incidents that happen these days are strictly due to pride and your ego being hurt because someone cut you off and now you feel like you need to get them back, or someone's going too slow and so you feel like you need to punish them for going too slow when they're in the fast lane and they shouldn't be going that slow in the fast lane, you know? And so we turn into these people because we are letting our pride and our ego get struck. And instead of just saying, I'm going to let you have that, you have to feel like you won the situation. And that happens a lot as well within friendships. And I've seen a lot of friendships and I've had a lot of friendships break down because of one or both sides not being able to let go of their pride when, even though you know this is not a relationship that I actually want to let go of, this is not someone that I actually want to lose, but because my pride is not allowing me to humble myself enough to say, listen, you hurt my feelings, or listen, I wasn't okay with this, or I miss you, you know. Why aren't we able to do things like that? Why is our pride so important to us? Why do we let our ego and all those feelings of needing to be validated, we let them run us so much, and we can't just let it go? And can be applied to so many different things in life. I think that we all have the same issue when it comes down to pride because it's all, and I feel like it's all about our own personal insecurities and us not being able to allow ourselves to be vulnerable and to be insecure, even if no one else is looking at you in the way that you are looking at you you still just can't let it go. Because at the end of the day, something inside of you is being struck. It could be a past insecurity, it could be a current insecurity, it could be some sort of trauma. But I feel like it has something to do with a deeper thing that's going on within each of us. It's not the same for all of us, but we all respond in the same way. We all let our egos drive us to make decisions that are not in our best interest, all because we want to protect that part of us that feels insecure or feels inadequate. And that's why the saying goes, pride is the devil, because it literally makes you do bad things. It makes you do the wrong things. It makes you make wrong choices. And even knowing that, most of us still allow that to happen and still allow it to go on because of the fact that we haven't figured out how to still be able to let situations go without feeling like you're taking an L. And I think that if most people figured out how to do that, a lot more things in within this world, within this country, with in our lives, our personal lives, they'll turn out so much different. They'll turn out so much different. And it's unfortunate because of the fact that a lot of people don't even recognize that that's what they're doing. They don't recognize that they're letting their pride make decisions that are going to literally change their life, and they're not able to fix it because they don't even know that it's happening. But I think that the most thing you can do when it comes down to your pride and your ego is to realize that you're actually a bigger person when you don't let your pride control your decisions. Because at the end of the day, if you look at it like, okay, my pride is not letting me let this situation go. My pride is not allowing me to pick up the phone and call somebody that I think about all the time and that I want to talk to anyways. You you're actually weak in that moment. Because at the end of the day, this is something that you actually want to do, but you're not doing it. So there's no strength that comes from that. But I think that everybody wants to be seen as a person who's strong. Everybody wants to be seen as a person who has no feelings. Everybody wants to be seen as a person who nothing can get to me. And I don't know where it got lost that good people are still what we should be striving to be. We shouldn't be trying to be these people who are emotionless and walking around like zombies and nothing affects me, nothing hurts my feelings. I can't ever tell anybody that I miss them or that they hurt me or that I want to talk to you again, or if somebody upset me, I have to fly off the handles and I can't say, you know what, I'm not going to do this with you. I'm going to let this go. I'm going to walk away. And especially when you are on a path to try to become the best version of yourself that you can be, your pride can literally make everything you've worked so hard for crumble right before your eyes and send you all the way back to the starting line where you have to start all over again. And it happens in the blink of an eye. And that's why I say, with our pride, when you can't put that to the side in situations where you should, which is most situations, you literally are going to lose every time. There's nothing good that comes out of not being able to put your pride to the side. Any situation I've ever had in my life where I couldn't put my pride to the side, which in most situations is when I was young and I didn't have the same tools that I have now to recognize that I was even doing it in the first place. Now that I'm in a place where I can look back and say, this is what I was doing then, and I wish I would have been different. I wish I would have handled that differently. it's healthy now because I can recognize that going forward in certain situations. But in any situation that I've had where I wasn't able to put my pride to the side and I let my ego be sensitive and fragile, and I let that dictate the decisions that I was going to make, I lost every time. I lost every time. And even though I'm not a person who likes to live in the past, we all have our story. We all think about the past. We can't change the past. So what happened, happened. But I do sometimes wonder in certain situations, had I not allowed my pride to make the decision for me, what would have happened in that situation? What would have came about from that situation? Would I still be talking to so and so? Would I still be doing such and such? And when you let your pride take over, you're never going to know. You're never going to know. Because at the end of the day, you were not strong enough mentally to make a rational decision. You made one based off of your emotions. And emotions, as we all know, are temporary. So how could you know if you're even making the right decision if you don't even know if you're going to feel that same way tomorrow? You don't even know if you're going to feel that same way in a few hours. But you let your emotions dictate your decision to do what you were going to do and probably affect your life permanently off of temporary emotions. So I think that what we all need to do on this journey, on this path that we take to become the best version of ourselves, is to stop letting our pride get in the way, stop letting our ego be the driving factor behind our decisions, because at the end of the day, we're going to lose every single time. Our pride does not have our best interests at heart. Our pride is to protect our insecurities and those little things about us that we don't want anybody else to see. You don't want anybody to know you're sensitive. You don't want anybody to know you cry easily. You don't want anybody to know that, yeah, if even when they hurt you, you're going to forgive them because you have love for them and you don't want to have that type of stuff in your life. Our pride is to protect us from all those things, but it's like, why do we need protection from the best parts of us? At the end of the day, I think the best people that I know are the ones that live life in a way where they live raw and they live, I guess you would say they wear their heart on their sleeve. Yeah, there's negatives that come with that as well, but at the end of the day, you're never going to lose when you live genuinely and you do exactly what it is that you want to do. And you don't do stuff based off of temporary emotions that are going to affect you permanently. So at the end of the day, I ask all of us that are on this journey to becoming the best versions of ourselves to not let our pride be in the way of the decisions that we know we need to make. And when you're faced with those decisions, and it's either to pick your pride or to pick your future, choose your future every single time.